Picture this. Your engineering team just burned 6 months building an absolute masterpiece. The code is spotless, the model's trained, and your API latency is basically non existent inside your local container. You've crushed every single technical benchmark in your sprint review, high fives all around. And then you try to push it to production, and it completely falls apart. Welcome to the grim reality of enterprise tech, folks. A staggering 80% of 2025 pilot projects died in what we call the proof of concept death valley. They worked perfectly in the sterile lab, and then they completely face planted when they hit the real world. If you're tired of watching your hard work turn into stagnant R&D, hit that subscribe button right now, because today we're going to fix your broken architecture. From pilot to profit, overcoming the proof of concept death valley. We are officially dropping the illusions today and bridging the brutal chasm between experimental prototypes and scalable enterprise ROI. Look, I've spent nearly 2 decades navigating massive cloud migrations, untangling absolute spaghetti legacy infrastructure, and watching brilliant pilots die simply because they weren't built to survive the real world. Today, we change that paradigm entirely. Let's deploy this. All right, section 1, the fatal illusion of success. This right here is where the trap is set. Most AI and tech initiatives die in the sandbox because they solve isolated problems without ever considering enterprise scale. Hitting technical benchmarks in a controlled sandbox is frankly a fatal illusion. Why? Well, because sandboxes are sterile. You have perfectly clean data, zero latency, and no legacy system conflicts. Your model looks like an absolute genius. But the real world? The real world is incredibly messy. Production environments throw null values, unexpected user behavior, and legacy API timeouts right at your application. Imagine a 15-year-old mainframe suddenly throwing undocumented XML schemas at your shiny new microservice. I mean, unannounced schema drift happens literally every single day. This initial friction point sets the stage for the structural barriers that prevent a prototype from becoming an actual profit center. You didn't build a product, you built a science fair project. Moving on to section 2, dismantling the operational silos. The technology usually isn't what breaks first, it's the people and the processes. We're talking about a massive systemic failure caused by cross-functional misalignment. So stop for a second and ask yourself this. What if the biggest threat to your project isn't the technology, but the silos surrounding it? Think about it. The innovation lab builds the tool, they get it working on their local machines, and then they just toss it over the fence to IT ops. IT ops looks at it and goes, where are the audit logs? How are we supposed to secure this under SOC 2 compliance? How do we even monitor this in our existing stack? Boom, you've got a handoff gap that stalls deployment for 6 to 8 months. Integration has to begin at the design phase. It absolutely cannot be treated as a post-pilot afterthought or just, some other department's problem. If security, ops, and governance aren't in the room on day one, your pilot is already dead on arrival. To survive, you've got to make a massive systemic shift, moving from a project mindset, which is fragile and sandbox based, to a product mindset, which is built for resilient real world application. A project has a start and an end date. It operates in a fragile environment where everything is expected to go right. But a product has a living life cycle. It requires a resilient real world application mentality. A product mindset asks the hard questions, like what happens when the central database goes down at 3 a.m. on Black Friday? Or what happens when AWS US East 1 drops our connection for 5 minutes? It ensures the solution is built to live and breathe in the chaotic, unpredictable reality of your enterprise network. Section 3, architecting real-time pipelines. This is where we lay the tracks. You could build the fastest, most advanced, high-speed bullet train in the entire world, but if you try to run it on mismatched, broken rail gauges, it's going to derail immediately. Your data pipeline is the track. So before we build your high-speed bullet train, let me ask you directly, What is the biggest architectural bottleneck in your current data pipeline? Really think about it. Is it data latency? Is it messy ingestion? Are legacy API rate limits killing your throughput? I want to hear your real world battle stories. Drop down into the comments below right now and let me know exactly what's choking your system today. Listen, feeding enterprise tools with manually cleaned or static CSV files is an absolute disaster. It's like building a massive skyscraper on a foundation of mud. Sure, it works perfectly for the executive demo, but the second you put a real load on it, it collapses in production. You simply cannot rely on a data scientist manually running a Python script every Friday to clean your inputs. What you need is a standardized data governance framework versus the manual CSV trap. This is your bedrock. You need automated, validated, and strictly governed data flowing natively into your models with zero manual intervention. Without this, your data lake just turns into a toxic data swamp. Let's walk through the strict technical foundations required to build resilient real-time pipelines. Step 1. Ingest unpredictable telemetry. Your system absolutely must handle messy, out-of-order data streams and missing packets without crashing. Step 2. Filter 2026 edge computing noise. Edge computing is a nightmare of scale. With millions of IoT devices concurrently pinging your servers, you have to intelligently filter the signal from the noise at the edge before it overwhelms your central compute. Step 3. Standardize governance. Ensure every single byte of data meets your strict schema before it moves downstream. I actually once saw a single rogue upstream update change a timestamp format from US to European, and it silently broke $1 million predictive supply chain model for 3 weeks before anyone noticed. Standardize it. And finally, step 4, feed the enterprise database. This entire workflow shifts your engineering focus from simply making the tool work in a vacuum to making it highly reliable under extreme enterprise pressure. Section 4, Enterprise Hardening. Moving into Section 4, Hardening for the enterprise environment. Okay, so your pilot works, your data is flowing automatically. Now we enter the big leagues. We have to move beyond the prototype by demanding rigorous security protocols and automated compliance checks. But here is where 90% of engineering teams completely break their infrastructure. They think because it works perfectly for 10 concurrent users, it's going to seamlessly work for 10,000. They completely ignore the brutal reality of scaling costs and infrastructure limits. And then, well, they wake up on Monday morning to a $50,000 surprise cloud bill because of unoptimized queries and infinite scaling loops. Let's break down enterprise hardening. Think of database scaling exactly like highway traffic. Vertical scaling stress tests are like widening the lanes on a single highway. You have to know how big of a server you can run before the CPU and memory completely choke. But eventually, you run out of physical land. You can't just keep buying bigger servers forever. That's where horizontal load balancing comes in, building parallel highways to seamlessly distribute the traffic across multiple smaller instances. You must stress test this architecture to ensure the system can scale vertically and horizontally without incurring those exponential crippling cloud costs. And finally, automated compliance, whether it's SOC 2, ISO 27001, or GDPR. If your system requires manual security audits or a human sitting there checking logs, it cannot scale. Automate it. Section 5. Closing the ROI loop. Once your asset is hardened and dependable, the conversation has to ruthlessly pivot. We are done talking about technical stability. Now we talk about the actual enterprise value it generates. Let's talk vanity versus non-vanity metrics. Model accuracy and uptime, those are vanity metrics. Yes, they're absolutely important to engineers. But guess what? Model accuracy doesn't cover payroll. The CEO doesn't care about your 99.9% uptime if the product costs more in AWS compute than it actually brings in. You must demand the definition of clear, non-vanity metrics, operational cost reduction, and net new revenue streams. You have to demonstrate exactly how this deployed asset definitively impacts the company's bottom line. The ultimate goal here is closing the ROI loop. You start as a massive chunk of red, an R&D cost center. You're burning money to figure things out. But by utilizing automated feedback, you continuously optimize your model based on live performance data across the entire organization. You learn what features users actually engage with and pay for. You prune the dead compute cycles. You aggressively optimize your database queries. And slowly, that red turns green. You transition from an experimental drain on resources into a highly optimized, automated revenue stream. I want to leave you with this provocative final thought. Look at the system your team is building today. Is your architecture truly built to scale, or is it just built to demo? Are you engineering for the chaotic real world, or are you just trying to survive the next sprint review? Transforming a stagnant cost center into a profit engine is the absolute only way to survive the journey from a fragile experiment to a scalable business pillar. Take a breath, build it right the first time. If you found value in this blueprint, don't stop here. Watch our next video to dive even deeper into advanced system design and architecture patterns. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, drop a like, and share this video with your like-minded technical friends and engineering managers who desperately need to hear this reality check. Let's build better, more resilient systems together. Catch you in the next one.